Hello there. As you can see, the bottom of this mermaid wedding dress has two layers on it. I'd like to remove the top layer, the shorter one, so that the dress has more of a modern look, because I feel like this layer, which I'll show you now, is aging the dress a bit. I might be mistaken, but I think it's just too busy. There's too much going on. So I want to remove this layer that I'm holding and just leave the dress with the plain bottom with just those lace details on the bottom part of the underlayer. Okay, watch me as I do it. So this is that top layer that I was speaking about. I'm putting my hand through so that I don't cut any other layers, because I only want to cut off this top layer. I'm going to go here to the seam line, and then I'm just going to gently punch a hole into the tulle so that I can get in there and start cutting. So instead of cutting right across the line and then these little pieces of lace fraying through the seam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut little designs or cut out around these flowers as I go along, so that it actually looks beautiful and natural, like it's always been like that. And as you can see, these top flaps that are on the main section of the dress are also going to flap overlapping on that section where I'm cutting, so it's going to blend in nicely. Okay, so I'm going to just show you a little bit of how it's done. Okay, so try your best to go as close as possible to the seam line and cut your tulle gently and carefully. Okay, then I'm just going to cut through there. I think I'll also keep this flower, so I'll cut like that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, it will be easier now if I sort of separate the tulle sewn onto these flowers that are staying behind, and then I can chop that off easily. Okay, and then I'm just going to proceed the same way going forward. Okay, it's up to you how deep you want your little flowers to stick out, but I don't want them to be too long. That's why I'm just cutting the main pieces off. If you wanted, you could always cut out that amount all the way around, and then it can just overlap and fall onto the dress bottom, but I'm choosing not to do that. Okay, so I think you get the idea of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Okay, so then again, I'm going to look for the tulle that's still attached here and chop it off. Try to go as slow as possible so you don't end up cutting the other layers of tulle which are supposed to be staying behind. Okay, also on the cuts of these little strings, they don't look so great. So can you see, this is the fraying that I spoke about earlier. If we had cut right across the flowers on the seam line, we're going to end up having little fraying pieces of lace all the way around the edge, which definitely is not going to look nice. As you can see, this yellow stuff is glued back or glued down. I don't really like that. If you'd like, you can always sew it down to the underlayer, but since it's overlapping, you won't really notice that glue. But I don't think it was such a nice idea for the person that made this dress to put glue, like a fast way of doing things. Okay. So as you can see, it looks simple, but you have to be very gentle and go very slowly so you don't end up damaging your dress. So yes, I'm going to do this all the way right round until this whole top layer that we don't want is removed. I'll show you the results now. And there we go. Here's our wedding dress with just one layer at the bottom. Let me know what you think. Does it look much better, or did you prefer it with that top layer that was all over the place at the bottom of the dress? I wait for your feedback. Send me comments. Bye. What do you think? A lot better or better with that layer? Also, what should I do with that layer? Comment below and let me know.